Hey guys, it's Tanya here. Thanks for watching. So I'm back and I broke my STM lens. So you're probably going to hear this super annoying clicking sound as it continues to try and autofocus. I dropped my camera the other day and my lens happened to hit the ground first and it literally broke the little kind of back pieces that hold the lens in. And I'm so frustrated. I cannot afford to buy a new one right now, so I'm just going to run with my old non-STM lens. Anyway, I'm starting a brand new project on this channel. I'm really excited. I like doing projects. I find that they motivate me to film more often. So this is what I'm doing. I have a decorative board. I'm going to show it to you guys. This is my decorative board. And all these eyes are probably going to look super familiar to you guys. They're all Too Faced eye looks. So I have a whole bunch of Too Faced palettes. Some of them are limited edition and not available anymore. And most of them are still available. So I'm going to show you guys the difference between them. And I'm going to basically create all of these eye looks one by one. And I'm also going to show you guys dupe options for colors. So if you don't own these palettes or you can't get your hands on these palettes, there are other eyeshadow colors you can use to create these looks. I'm hoping to upload 2 of these a week just to kind of get the channel up and going again. I'm going to quickly run through all the palettes we're going to do in this series, so if you own some of them, you can kind of compare which ones we're going to be using, or if you want to pick up any of them, you can go ahead and do that. So let's go through that first. So I'm not going in any particular order, I'm just going to pick up palettes as they are in front of me. So this is the Too Faced Peanut Butter and Honey palette. This is the one we're going to use today. This is what the inside looks like. This is a fairly neutral, warm tone palette. You have this fun pop of yellow. You also have this really kind of fun coral. So this is a really good option if you are a warm tone wearer. We're also going to be doing some looks from the Too Faced Boudoir Eyes. This is an older palette. It was one of the originals. This is definitely cooler toned. You have more mauves and grays in here. Really pretty. I have the Too Faced Cat Eyes palette. This one was really cool because there is the wet and dry on the outside row. So all of these can be used as wet or dry, and I will be showing you guys how to do that. But this is the inside of the cat eyes. Then of course there's the infamous Peanut Butter and Jelly, which is a lot like the Peanut Butter and Honey, except it's purples instead of yellows and peaches. I also find this one to be more neutral toned. It does have like the Nuts About You, which is super warm toned, but everything else is more neutral looking. So I kind of like that. Then there's the Too Faced Neutral Eyes, which is probably one of my all-time favorites. I think this one has been reformatted. It might not look the same as the old one did, but I really like this one. It's got a lot of satiny colors that are really pretty. Overall, more cool toned. Then for the limited edition ones that we're going to be using, the Too Faced Country palette. I don't think you can get this one anymore. This was a really fun palette. I don't know, the colors just very much scream like 90s country to me with the blue and the bright pink, but I really like this one. The Too Faced A La Mode is probably one of my favorite palettes from Too Faced. This came out in one of the summers. It might have been 2 summers ago, maybe 3. Really pretty, warm toned. Again, the pinks and the blues, the corals. I really love this kind of look. These are all satins. There isn't a matte in here, so just know that this palette has no matte. And then another one of my all-time favorites, the Too Faced Sugar Pop. This was purchased for me by my friend Stephanie, and I absolutely love this palette. I love macaroons. I love everything about the color selection in this. It was fun. It was bright. It was in your face. I love 1, 2, 3, 4, like probably the most, but I love all of this palette in general. And then the last one is the Romantic Eye. This is actually in the old cardboard packaging. This has really interesting, unique colors. This green is super pretty. These purples are very pretty. So I'm excited to play with this one again as well. For those of you who've never used a Too Faced palette before, let me just give you a quick rundown. The colors run like this, as 3s, the big one, the 2 small ones, the big one, the 2 small ones. So you can use that as your look reference. And they used to build them like that. They used to call them day, night, fashion or something like that. They don't do that anymore. They have made those looks, but then they also have created different looks on the cards. And I actually think that's really cool because it's giving people lots of options for how they want to use their palette. And I think having the idea of 6 looks instead of 3 gives people a way more option and kind of a way to play and like see what they like and what they don't like. And I think that's really cool. So today we're going to do Feeling Nutty. This is the eye look. Super cute, kind of really easy. It's like a peachy light brown look. I think it's really good for daytime, which is it's daytime right now. So I have my, this is from the Too Faced Peanut Butter and Honey palette. This one is still available. This is what the inside looks like. These are really great everyday warm toned colors. I really, really, really like these. I find them super wearable. This is probably one of my most used palettes. Alright, you guys, so we're going to start with the dupes. So the first one is Queen Bee, and this is the color right here. It's kind of this pinky color. It's a very soft pinky matte color. I'm going to swatch it on the back of my hand. It's very light. You're probably going to have a hard time seeing this particular one just because it is so light. So that's what it looks like on my hand. You can barely see it. Out of Luck, which is a ColourPop color, is very, very similar. It's a little bit more peach and less pink, but again, very similar. So that's Out of Luck, kind of next to it, and that's Queen Bee. Sorbet is a Makeup Geek color. This one's a little bit softer than Queen Bee, but I do really like it. Same peach tone. Then I have this Essence one, which is from their Cookies and Cream line, and it's called Macaron C'est Bon. And this one is probably the closest of all the drugstore colors that I have. And it does have a slight bit of shimmer to it. You can see it there on the bottom. And then there's this Revlon palette that's called Sweet Innocence. And I know these are still available. This peach color right here is the closest I could find to it. And it pulls a little bit more peach than the rest of them, but it definitely is in that color family. So you can see nothing there is super bright or stands out. It all kind of just blends nicely together. But you can use any like soft matte pink color to create the same look. I'm going to take a flat packer brush and I'm going to take Queen Bee. I'm not loving my new setup right now, so I'm just going to use the palette mirror because I don't have another mirror in front of me. And it says to pat that from your lash line all the way up to your brow bone. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's kind of a blending color. So you're going to see that's not going to make much of a difference. It's just kind of giving you a starting point. Oh, that color, just so you guys know, is called Bee Sweet. It's not called Queen Bee. The row is called Queen Bee. So big ups on them for that. So the next thing it's telling me to do is take Feeling Nutty, which is the warm tone kind of puke brown color in here. And it's telling me to blend that into the crease. So first we're going to find the swatch dupes for it. This is what Feeling Nutty looks like. It's a very soft kind of mustard tone brown. So I pulled Note to Self by ColourPop, which has a little bit more red in it, but is very similar. That's Note to Self. That's Feelin' Nutty. This one is called Sea Stars, and this is another ColourPop matte shade. Really pretty. Also a little bit more warm toned. I do like going more warm toned. And then the Kylie Jenner, this is her original, the bronze palette. This color right here in this corner, I think it's called Goldstone. Goldstone or Tiger's Eye, I don't know. I think it's Goldstone. It's a very close match, maybe a little bit more brown. So those are your kind of matches for Feelin' Nutty. So we're gonna dip into Feelin' Nutty, pat off the excess, and blend into the crease. And depending on how intense you want this look is how much Feeling Nutty you will add, because this brown color is what's going to really up your intensity. So that's really simple, right, you guys? You're just blending into your crease. For those of you who are like me, who have those hooded brows, pull it a little bit higher up on that brow bone. Makes it look a little lifted. You get to see more color that way. I think it's a great trick I'm always talking about. The literal last step for this look is the color Honey Brittle, which is this really pretty peachy coral color. And I'm going to go ahead and swatch it for you. Really, really beautiful. That's Honey Brittle. So I found two. This one is from ColourPop and it's called Wait For It. And it's a little bit more pigmented, so it definitely pulls like a little bit of a deeper pinky coral, but it's definitely in that color family. And this one is called I Owe You, also from ColourPop. And this one's a little bit more orange. So I couldn't find anything that was identical to Honey Brittle. It's a very soft, like peachy pastel color. Peachy coral pastel, which is kind of unusual. But those were the two closest that I could find. And I'm just going to pat that on my eyeshadow. Well, on my eyelid. Pat it on my eyelid. I think what makes Honey Brittle so unique is even though it's a really pretty peachy coral, it's not overpowering. And I think that's what makes it really fun to use, because it's not overpowering at all. So there's the finished look. I'm gonna go add some lashes and then I will be back to show you guys how it matched up to the card. So here's the finished photograph and here's the finished look. I would say it actually looks pretty close. I feel like they smoked, oh they did. Oh, they smudged into the lower lash line. Oh, we have something to fix. I was trying to figure out what I missed, and they took Feeling Nutty and they actually blended it down here a bit. So let's smudge that into my lower lash line. I was trying to figure out why mine looked different. At first I was kind of looking at it like, that doesn't look the same. One of these things is not like the other. This is my finished look compared to the eye. I feel like it looks really good. This is a really simple 1, 2, 3 process. Of course, I have hooded eyes, so any of you who've ever taken one of my classes or spent any time learning about makeup from me, you know that I do not wear liner on my upper waterline because I find that it totally washes out my eyes. So yeah, there's the finished look. I hope you guys are gonna like this series. Give this video a thumbs up if you think this is a cool idea. I think it's gonna really inspire people to play with makeup that they own more. And I know that's something I need to do, so I'm really excited that I kind of thought this up, and I'm really excited to do all the Too Faced eye looks for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new here, please subscribe. Don't forget to give that thumbs up button a big hit if you liked this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.